My name is Johnny, and I'm the host, executive producer, and Prince of Lies for the Monsters Playbook. What's the Monsters Playbook? It's an actual play Monster of the Week podcast set in my hometown of Minneapolis, Minnesota, where no monster can hurt you as badly as you can hurt yourself. It's a character-focused adventure where you'll meet Kira Ashwood, a journalist with a cult past she's desperate to atone for, and a secret power hidden even from herself. Casey Davis, a taciturn secret agent becoming disillusioned with the agency she thought she could trust. Theo Nessos, a professional sorceress trying to escape the shadow of her powerful magical family. And Mark Clayton, a pretty haunted introvert who just wants to make sense of his powers and all the weird things that keep happening to him. This is a show where danger could just as easily come from an otherworldly threat as from the fragile emotions that anchor our characters and bind them together. If you like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, The Dresden Files, or any city-set supernatural story with monstrous threats and messy feelings, check out the Monsters Playbook. New episodes every other Tuesday, wherever you get your podcasts.
Everybody's in because I didn't do the thing.
Oh no, hello.
Hello. I was writing a note, but hello.
Notes. If only you took so many when we actually played.
I take notes.
Last episode I wrote, died by Twiglet.
And nothing else.
Nothing
That
else.
was more
Almost died by Twiglet.
Cool. Welcome to Damsels in Dicestress, where we play a Regency era Dungeons and Dragons mashup. And we've called it Demons and Daughters.
Why?
I'm your dungeon daddy, every time. Lyndon Rufus Winters. To my left, and the audience's left.
My name is Kitta Kearns and I play Marianne Calvert.
My name's Morne Bartman Trimmer, and I play Agatha Pentecost. There we go.
I've got her name for a second. You're like, how do I say this?
How do I save this, is what she was thinking.
I'm Maijai Hibbard and I play Taya Bronton.
I'm Taya Campbell-Over and I play Rosalind Penhallow.
Last week,
We cried a lot.
yeah, the girls returned back to the
Lair.
lair. So anyway, return to your secret hideout in Temple somewhere.
Very secret that we keep bringing people to.
Yes.
This random woman we met this night.
Yep.
Well, that will be sorted, I'm sure. Your hand was discovered to be missing by the others. Actually, not the others.
Nope, only Jonathan and Talia know about that.
Mm-hmm.
Thomas didn't see shit.
No one answered any of my questions.
No.
Marianne still knows
Yeah.
nothing.
There was as you were getting patched up, there was a vibe. There was a vibe when you talked about going home and stuff, you know. You didn't roll any kind of insight check, so...
I think I didn't need to. I got the vibe.
No idea what you're talking about. And then tried to get what sleep you could. You can all roll a d4 for some healing.
Oh,
Only a D4?
Yeah, shut your mouth.
That's so low.
that's so low for me.
That's so not what we normally roll.
I got a 3, it's fine.
2.
2, nice.
Oh, but I'm on.
But your maximum health.
Yeah,
You don't
I'm
need
fine.
to roll healing, bitch.
You just feel even better.
Hey, I got 4.
But these ones, I guess it's D4s. Is the,
Mm-hmm.
That's odd.
Yeah.
It's the bottom one for that.
Yeah.
So
That is
people
weird.
got that.
Yeah, did. I
Why
have
do we
9
only get
HP.
4? I thought usually we roll like...
That is
What
the
are-
house of 3 badgers.
Why do you know the hit points of badgers?
I feel like there's a story behind
No,
it.
I just checked what the hit points of low-level hit points were just to annoy one of my DMs.
That's funny.
We should have an intro.
We really should.
Yeah.
Intro. Okay. Rosalind, you dream of that voice over and over, running through dark alleys and lanes around London, the throbbing in your hand. Even though I think in your dreams you still have your hand. It just hurts for some reason. And the Viscount, he's down on one knee proposing to you. I really must have your hand, Rosalind, he says to you. And none of it makes any sense. Tell me the dreams you have.
I dream of I'm like running through a forest and I keep catching a glimpse of like the end of a dress and then I just like keep like he just pops up every now and then and that's just it.
He just pops up.
Yeah, the cuntwood Sullivan.
The Viscount.
Cuntingham. Just like holding his cane.
He saved your life.
Yeah,
This is a
to
fancy
steal the
dress.
ring.
Yeah, what else?
He didn't do that for me.
Technicalities, Morne. I mean, Agatha.
Yeah.
You dream fitful dreams. Your father's there. He gives you gifts, but he looks gaunt. You dream of tentacles. Your husband.
Yeah.
Sort of confusion. You wake up quite a few times, not remembering where you are, and then as you wake up, you sort of remember the conversations you had with Jonathan the day before. You try and get more sleep. Fairly fitful, I'd say. But you do have a private room, which is nice. The door doesn't lock, though. It's kind of off its hinges, which you noticed as you tried to close it.
I feel like I've seen enough of these girls to assume it was time.
Probably.
And then it is morning, and you wake as you wake.
If I wake up first, I'm just gonna like stay holding you.
Yeah, I think when I first wake up, I'm just disoriented, and it like takes me a moment to like sort out what is the dream and what really happened. And so I just close my eyes and like snuggle back into you and just stay like that for a bit.
When I wake up, I'm going to immediately sit up and go see my father.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Yep. You walk a few feet down the hallway. You enter the room. You left the door open. Albert's still had to shut the room. Albert is still sitting beside your father.
Is he awake?
Yes.
Okay.
Good morning.
Is he alright?
Yes, he's survived the night. His breathing still seems stable. I think he could pull through this. Would you mind sitting with him? I need to stretch my legs. I could bring you a tea if you want. Did you sleep well?
Yeah, I slept fine. But I'll wait until breakfast.
Okay. He sort of gets up, stretches a little bit, and heads out. And do you sit down? Okay, you sit there, you watch your father, his chest, going up and down in these sort of very shallow breaths. At some point in the night, your brother must have started to wash him because most of the blood is gone. He's cut away the older clothes, and he's got a blanket over him now. He looks almost peaceful, but at the same time almost dead.
I hold his hand and I say to him that if you can hear me, that a lot of things have happened, and I know a lot of things about you and about the world. And I don't know what to make of it. And I feel really scared and upset and betrayed. So when you wake up, we're going to have a long conversation. But for the time being, please just sleep. Be okay. And I'll see you soon.
Make a perception check.
Natural 20. 23.
Oh.
As you say these things and you're holding his hand, you swear you feel this sort of little squeeze of your hand. Just the tiniest movement. It could have just been a twitch. But you swear you felt some sort of response.
I squeeze his hand back.
I think Maren, when she wakes up, will take a few minutes to just sort of try and gather herself and her thoughts. And yeah, I think she'd sit up and sit cross-legged on the bed and just try and essentially meditate and think through the events of what happened last night and try and make sure that she has them in order. Because I think she'd know that it's very easy for things to become jumbled in high-stress situations. So I think she'd just go through, think through what happened, and yes, just think about the thing they couldn't see Daniel. Everyone kept looking and they couldn't see him, and neither of them are particularly the most extroverted, outgoing sorts, and much of their childhoods and through then their courtship and their marriage, they've been sort of sitting in the gardens by themselves, reading together, that sort of thing. So I think she's just still holding on to the hope that maybe he wanted to get away from the noise, and when he was able to see that people were being pushed into the ballroom and saw how busy it was, and decided to make a discreet exit to at least somewhere he could not be seen in the gardens. And then she'll get dressed in this dress that was kindly provided to her, and has the little ruins from the Thames water.
Yeah, I'll say that I took that to you last night. And
Yeah.
just, left it by your room.
Yes, then I think she'd get up and try and just sort of go around the underground area and sort of see what rooms are there, and so she didn't really have a chance to do that much last night. Just got to get a sense of the space she's in, how big it is, because she knows literally nothing, so finding answers herself.
Sure. Are you just going to explore just your bedroom for now? Do you want to go walkies?
Yeah, she would leave her bedroom, go around, not like going into bedrooms where people are obviously sleeping, but just sort of like the open spaces. Do like the living area and everything. And
Sure. Make a stealth check.
oh, stealth.
It's morning. You want to be quiet. You don't want to wake everybody else up.
Oh dear.
That's a 7.
Fab. Okay.
Great shape.
Make an investigation check then.
Okay. Again, not good. That's a 7.
Okay.
Why am I rolling badly?
So as you noisily work your way around, so you check out your bedroom first. There's a armoire, there's a bed, there's a writing table, there's a chest. It's very functional. Makes you think of a sort of an in-room sort of thing. But yeah, there's nothing particularly in there other than your own belongings. There's some pens and paper and stuff like that, some ink. You head out into the corridor. You can see a couple of doors down, Agatha sitting with her father. You can hear the footsteps of somebody else walking down the corridor further away around a corner. And you sort of, if you walk in that direction, you see a lot of closed doors. You remember this. It's a very simple layout. You sort of head back towards that main room that you found yourself in that morning, that evening. You walk past a sort of kitchen area. Before that, you can hear somebody sort of working away, making some sort of food. You can smell food as you walk past. It's bacon. Very nice. Yeah, in the main room, you find, when you really sort of take it in now, you see there's like lots of books on bookshelves, a lot of like dark leather chairs, armchairs, small coffee tables, paintings of people on the walls. It's fairly sort of, you've seen this sort of layout before in a lot of sort of fancy houses and stuff, but it is pretty fancy. There's some a lot of gold work going on. The paintings on the walls, there's definitely some odd ones there. You come across one in particular featuring tentacles, and it reminds you. And also in the picture, you're not totally sure, but it looks like the man that you just carried home yesterday is in the picture.
Okay, I'll go over to the bookshelves, see what sort of books they have.
Sure. Yep, there's a lot of books. Books on history, books on alchemy, books on magic. Some of the books are, say, they're accounts of various events. If you're just looking at the spines, it's just like the account of this, the account of that, you know. If you pick one up and flick through it, the first few pages are just sort of written in Latin. It's all a very strange place.
Are any of the books not in Latin?
Some are in languages you don't even know how to identify, but you haven't seen any in English for some reason.
Okay.
You're awake. I trust you slept well.
I did, thank you. And from the sounds of it, breakfast is being prepared.
Yes, just a small thing from the supplies that we have. I see Talia's gifted you one of her dresses, or lent it to you. Very good, very well, very well.
Mine rather got ruined in the Thames water.
Yes, the Thames is wont to do that, I suppose. Yes, please, let me lead you the way to our dining area. And he leads you to a sort of large cafeteria type. I'm not sure what the word would be. But yeah, so it's a large room with lots of rows of tables in. Seats maybe, I don't know, I feel like I've already said.
A mess hall.
Yeah.
Or
sure,
a
yeah.
canteen.
Canteen-y kind of vibes, yeah. Probably seats 50, 100 people, probably 50. And yeah, you can smell the cooking foods. There's a pot of tea sitting on one of the tables. Help yourself to tea. I'm sure we'll have a long morning with things to discuss, so... Yes, please sit down.
Thank you.
Do I smell breakfast
With your deep
with my
nose.
super scent?
Yeah, you can always smell fresh cooked meat.
She has a
Ew.
carnivore.
It is. Assuming that I realise that you're awake.
Yeah, I think you will at that point, because I think it's been a while of me just, and you can probably hear by my breathing that I'm awake.
I think breakfast is being made. If you wanted anything.
I think, if you could just bring me something. I'm going to have to see them all at some point, aren't I? And then they're going to have to see.
It won't change how they see you. If people can look past the fact that I turn into an actual demon, I think people will be okay.
I think if anything important is to be discussed, then
we'll
come
send them
fetch
to come
me.
and get us. I'll give you a kiss on the forehead. And I'll go towards wherever breakfast is
Mm-hmm.
and make up a couple plates. And then I head back.
Mm-hmm.
All right then. So after I'm done with my food, which I think I've sort of just picked at.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go to get my stays and then realise I don't know how to do that by myself currently, and will you thank you.
Not doing that, I guess.
For anyone listening on the podcast, there was a nod there.
Thank you. And then I'm just gonna look around, and I really don't want to look at where sort of all my clothes are, and I really don't want to go through my things. So I'm just gonna grab one of the robes from the Velvet Masquerade that I have had sort of as like loungewear, just so I'm like covered,
Mm-hmm.
and put that on and do it up. But yeah, I'm not going near any of my things, and I don't look at any of my things
Because most of them came from the Viscount.
because of a lot of reasons.
Mm-hmm. Agatha, as you're sitting with your father, your brother comes back with another cup of tea. Sorry, I got delayed talking with Jonathan.
I take a cup of tea. Thank you.
That's okay. I think he wants... We should all gather pretty soon to exchange information, I suppose. I mean, we were all there, but Jonathan wants to hear it all for himself.
Who's going to sit with Father?
I'm sure he'll be okay for a short time.
But what if he wakes up and he's all alone?
Well, I don't know.
I'm not leaving him alone.
Okay. That's okay. Yeah, after a little while there's a knock on your dormitory door. It's Jonathan. Perhaps we could all gather in the main room. I'm going to check on Lucas as well. He didn't have a good night, but I think he's more himself now. But I do think it's important that he's there as well. Perhaps in 5 minutes.
All right.
Cool. I presume you sort of remained in the dining area to sort of eating there. So when Jonathan comes back to you, we're all going to gather in the main room and go over last night's events, and then we'll decide what's next. This way, please.
We'll go past him, knowing the route.
Mm-hmm. Cool. And as you all gather there's the three of you.
I'm coming in,
Mm-hmm.
still sort of holding my left wrist to myself, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm really kind of like staying very close to Talia, so it's kind of like hidden by her body.
Okay. Make a stealth check.
That's a natural one.
Cool. Yeah.
2.
So yeah, basically everybody sees it. Anybody that's there. Oh, I forgot Thomas existed for a minute. Yeah. Thomas offers to sit in on the meeting and let you know everything that happens. So he leaves you with your father by yourself.
Oh, Thomas, he
It would have made more sense to go the other way around.
Oh.
if Aggie wants to be with Harold.
I suppose.
I just don't want him to be alone.
Oh, okay. Well, it's up to you. You could.
Well, if Thomas offers
Okay.
to look, then I will go to the meeting.
Okay. Then Thomas offers to. You immediately see that Rosalind's missing her hand as soon as you walk in.
Okay.
You may react to that however you want.
I guess at first I'm a bit shocked, but I don't want to, like,
Yeah, I'm also
make her
just not
feel-
looking at anyone,
Mhm.
by the way.
I don't want
Like
her
it,
to
yeah.
make her feel like
Mhm.
observed, so I won't look at her.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll look at her if she speaks. I'm not gonna.
Never look at
Confused.
Rosalind, ever.
Yeah.
Cool. Marianne, you are already waiting there. So when the two of these guys come in, you see that they're one of them's missing a hand, which is new information. Thomas, this man that you briefly crossed paths with last night, very tall man, dark sort of short wavy hair, huge, biggest man you've ever seen, massive muscles, very tall, giantess basically. Not really sure why there was.
Yeah, giantess.
I thought you were saying giantesque.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what I was thinking of. Yeah.
He's like a female giant.
Yeah. Not
He's
quite
not
as big
as
as a
big as an actual
giant. Yeah. I mean that doesn't make sense. Anyway. Okay. Well.
Is Lucas there?
Oh yeah, Lucas. I forgot about. So Lucas. Is there with
Oh.
He looks a little fragile. Oliver's there with him. There's just sort of like cuddled up
That's a
together.
dog, by the way.
Oh,
Oliver's
Oliver's
a little brown,
Lucas is
black
there.
and brown bloodhound with the sort of droopy face.
He's not little, he's a big dog.
He is a big boy.
He's an old man.
He's an old man dog.
Yeah, with lots of greying snout, lots of drool, often drips down one side, and it's going onto Lucas's lap. Lucas is a sort of young. Maybe he's your age, maybe he's a little bit younger. It's hard to tell.
He's 24.
Oh, I know how tall he is. But tall? How old is he?
He
Well,
looks
it's
young.
like-
He's a very young-looking boy.
Oh, this
Yeah,
is
from looking at
Oh,
someone, you don't know.
my fault. My bad.
Yeah, I forgive you.
Thank you.
Always forgive my favourite.
Wow, it's like Rosalind's back at home.
Now who's roasting you?
I'm
But
sorry.
I'm allowed to do it.
I'm sorry you feel that way.
Get fucked.
I'm gonna kill him.
Yeah, a young-looking man. hugging, a large, old bloodhound, sort of basically curled up on the sofa, looking sort of very. Make an insight check.
That's a little better. I mean, apart from they don't have a good bonus, so it's a 10.
Or yeah, it's just what I've described. Yeah, no extra bits there. Yeah, that's everybody. Everyone's gathered. Oh no, wait, Thomas is not there.
Yeah, that's what I was just
Yeah.
saying.
I got really confused there.
Yeah.
Maybe you saw Thomas like.
Yeah, you passed Thomas in the hallway. Massive guy. You had to step out the way.
And Albert's in there with Jonathan.
Albert is there, yes. So, and Jonathan led the way. And then these guys come in. Blah blah blah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Blah 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 blah.
Blah, blah, blah.
I do not say blah, blah, blah.
Well, I hope you all got some rest last night. As you can all see,
Does he look like he slept?
make an insight check. Or perception. I don't know, whatever, you choose.
13.
Cool. Not really, I guess. He looks pretty tired. Looks older than you've usually noted him as. Looks smaller and older for some reason. Yes, there's no beating around the bush, I suppose. Last night did not go well. I wish I'd known what was happening. Perhaps we could have avoided this situation, but it is what it is, and it sounds like at least you have come out on top in some ways. And Howard has returned to us, and that is good news. I think with time, I believe he'll heal. Rosalind, so we're all terribly sorry about your injury, but it will heal.
Thank you.
I was speaking with Lucas a little this morning, and he did have some insight on things for you. I don't know if you wanted to have a private conversation with him or share it with the group of us.
Afterwards, if it's not too much for you, because
It's fine.
I'm sorry.
I'm fine.
I'm gonna hold your hand.
Yes, perhaps we start with your side of events. I heard somewhat from Mrs. Daniel Cuthington.
Albert.
I suppose the first question is, how much do we trust this young lady? I feel we can speak openly for now.
Well, we'd probably be dead without her, so...
You did not drag me into this. I was researching these matters myself.
Yes, I suppose if you had not bumped into us as you did in the library, you probably would not be here.
There is a high chance I could well be dead.
Yes, exactly my point.
But I was already researching these things, and I was already aware of the fact that children have been going missing, and the fact that powerful people were involved to the point that they would plant forged banknotes onto a tutor who was happening to ask about the whereabouts of certain servants. That is a drastic and, frankly speaking, ridiculous measure.
You speak of the children, which I believe I do have news on. in the basement, yes, I saw a number of children, but we will not see them again, I'm afraid.
Do you suppose we ought to have a full account of what happened?
Yes. I would suggest you do not need to hear the full account of these matters. It will bring you many questions that I think none of us would be prepared to answer fully. But
You don't speak for us. When you say none of us, I think that we would.
Well, much will sound strange, much will sound insane.
A very great many things do. And Marianne sits down and awaits answers.
Very well. I entered the basement, and I made my way into a sort of large, cavernous area. My understanding is that the Northumberland house was built on an ancient convent about 1,000 years ago, and I believe the basement is still that same foundation. It was large, but yes, when I got there, I was quite quickly apprehended. I tried to remain quiet, but evidently not quiet enough. I took a blow to the side of the head, and when I came round again, I'd been tied on my knees up against one of the walls, one of the pillars. And yes, it was as we'd feared. There was a sort of ritual set up below. 5 children had been hung upside down at 5 points of just a circle of what I judged to be quite some power. And there's a large number of robed men. I believe I counted 9. 9 men.
It was the same for Eloise when she said there were 9.
Eloise is the
girl who was murdered in Ratcliffe in the basement.
Right. Yes, 9 men in red robes with ceremonial daggers, I suppose. I could see there was carvings on the blades. Yes, I'm afraid the children did not survive their unholy ritual. The blood was used to obviously power the symbols in the room above to open up God knows what. I had resigned myself to die, I suppose. Until you remember the strange serving woman that served us. She came in after some time. It was quite bizarre. I was quite confused at first. Then there was a hell of a lot of shooting. She untied me. She knew me by name, of course. Now I realize this was my father in some sort of magical disguise. And in the confusion of the gunshots, we managed to escape. And when we saw that you were not there, we attempted to run you down and catch up with you, which we apparently did not quite in time, but what happened with the Viscount Edward Sallingham?
He wanted. I fear Papa's ring. I think that's what he always wanted, and that's why he did all the things that he did. It was all to take the ring, and now he has it. And I don't know where he went. He cast a spell. I think. Of course, I do not know anything, but I think it was quite powerful to simply disappear.
And he took you with him as he did it.
He helped us until we were here and the creatures arrived and I tried to, well, one of them hurt me and I think he was near and then he took my hand and then he made us both disappear and we were in an alley and then he took it and he vanished again. And I do not know where he went.
I think Dimension Door, probably, it's a powerful spell, allows you to travel not long distances, but just enough to move a few blocks away. And it's a spell that, yes, allows you to take a willing person with you. Occasionally it can be when they're not so willing, but I suppose if you're not prepared for it, then everyone's willing, because you don't know not to be.
That sounds about right.
What is he?
That remains to be seen. Clearly someone very powerful.
And why did he need it?
I do not know. There is power in these objects. I fear we have made... Well, I suppose we have not made an enemy. I suppose he was already an enemy. We just failed to realize it. But...
They should have.
They?
Frederick should have known.
Yes, I suppose so, but there are very few people with powers outside the Fraternitas.
And so what, they think not to bother with anyone?
It just happens so rarely.
They wouldn't even look in on people that they're inviting into the family.
I mean, if you look through the history books, there's perhaps been one or two in the last few hundred years.
I don't care about history.
It's just...
I would check.
Well, be that as it may, it's
2 years ago, he asked, after we met at dinner, it was 2 years ago that he asked Papa if he could have a correspondence with me, and Papa can't have known anything or he wouldn't have allowed it, but that must have been the whole time.
If any of us had had any idea, we would have, yes, we would have destroyed him like we, I mean, that is our duty, this is what...
How do we do that then?
Men are men. They die. I presume. he is a man, of course. We do know that some demons and other vestiges of the past do live among us, but those that do generally keep to themselves, knowing that, yes, I suppose the first thing we need to do is look into as much of his history as we can. And then do what we do. We take him down at some point.
Do you think you can get it back for Papa? Do you think we can get it back?
So I see what, your hand?
The ring! You fucking idiot! That's out of character. Rosalind didn't say that, obviously. We have to.
I agree, we have to. But not at the expense of our own lives. First we need to understand who he is and just how powerful he is. Very well, why don't we check on your husband first? With luck, perhaps you are correct, he escaped.
Yes, the last time I saw him, he was in the gardens. He may not have been forced into the ballroom.
Yes, very well. I will, head out and start researching the Viscount's history. See if I can find out more about who he truly is. Though if he's lived so long in such a high-profile position, I'm not sure what we can find, but now we know there is something to look for.
Yes, and because you're so good at finding things.
I believe from what you said, he was involved in running an orphanage.
It was one of his.
One of
them was one of the orphanages that he funds.
Yes, you're not his. He's well known to fund a number of charitable organizations around the city.
Well, that could be a good place to start if he was using funding the orphanage as a front for finding children for these rituals. Perhaps it would be wise to look into other causes, societies he was involved in, see if any of those could connect to other dealings he may have going on.
Yes, yes. I believe all of his charitable givings are quite well published, so I shouldn't have any trouble at least following up on those ones. We can find a list and a form a list.
I imagine some of them would be functioning as red herrings to prevent it being too obvious, but
Perhaps so, yes.
see, if he is giving so much into so many different causes, it is unlikely he would not use that as an opportunity.
Yes. Well, information gathering is my forte here, so I will do that. If you four stick together and see if you can find your husband. Stay away from the house. Not your house, obviously. Sorry, where is your house? Which area of London?
We live in Chelsea.
Chelsea, that is quite close to Hyde Park and the Viscount's residence. I suggest taking a carriage and being very direct, not spending too much time on the streets.
We can come at it from the other angle.
From the south, very right, have the long route round. You should be able to, yes, cross at the bridge, Westminster. Very well. And shall we reconvene here in the afternoon? Your messaging stone should work again now for one more message per day. I've got the other one. I think for now, the boy needs his rest. And perhaps no more surprises for him.
you wish to go over things another time, I understand entirely.
Yes. I'm fine. Very well. Let's be about ourselves and be careful.
I don't think I can. I can't be that near to him. I'm sorry. But my messaging stone was with my things that I had on last night, so you would have found that.
Yeah.
If you got rid of my moonball clothes.
Yeah.
The stone was with my things from last night. You should have that. And yes, I'm sorry. I just can't. And
wait here. I'm gonna go get the stone.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna go look for these two.
Cool.
Assuming I find you.
Yeah.
You should take this.
How does it work?
You should take that one.
I'll take it.
We aren't going.
Alright, I'll go, but you have to look after Father for me.
I'll hand you my dagger.
Okay. No idea how to.
I don't even know if you can use it. I just feel like she.
I'll just stab. It's fine.
I'll go with you too.
Mm-hmm. If things happen, we may have to use weapons.
I understand. What weapons do you normally use?
Usually, I use guns.
I see.
But I won't use it if absolutely necessary.
Okay.
There's weapons rooms if either of you want any.
Yes, I was about to ask if there were some sort of armory.
And I will lead them to there.
Yes, it's less an armory now and more of a sort of storage room of various belongings that were recovered from dead people. And there's not a lot in there. What are you looking for?
Something I can use as a monk weapon.
Sure. Yeah, there's like a rather fancy man's it's black cane with a sort of metal ball on top, that sort of thing, which you could use as a staff. Okay, so you find yourselves in a carriage heading back to your house, taking the long way round, coming into Chelsea from the south. You pull up outside your house. Do you want to describe your house for us? Give us an idea of how bougie you are?
This is quite bougie. Yes, I think it's it's quite fancy, sort of similar level to what I imagine you would have grown up with, but obviously as a townhouse rather than somewhere in the country.
Not Agatha.
Huh? My father's very rich.
He's very rich.
Okay. Sort of very nicely kept townhouse. There'd been quite nice gardens. Sort of the house fairly set back from the road, so you wouldn't really be able to see in through the windows from the road.
Cool. Yeah,
Nice, flowers and that sort of thing. Very well kept garden.
the carriage pulls in up to the front of the house, and the two of you can get out. One of your staff hears the carriage outside, opens the door, comes out to open the carriage door for you. Madam, you're home. Very good. I trust your evening went well?
Yes, thank you, Peters. Has my husband been able to return yet?
Yes, I believe he's in the just in the sunroom.
Thank you.
At the back of the house. Obviously, you'd know that, but for everybody else, I'm saying.
Thank you, Peters.
Of course.
Then rush.
Sure. So you rushed, did you say?
Yeah, I'm gonna try and go quickly. I just got expecting you to keep up.
I'm not going to keep that.
This is the worst one for that.
I have a movement speed of 40, so
Little sickly wheezing Agatha on her little legs.
Okay, so yeah, you rush into the sunroom. The door bursts open as you walk through, and you see Daniel sitting beside the window with his newspaper in his hand, sort of just reading. He looks up.
Daniel.
Good morning, dear. I trust you slept well?
Yes, thank you. Are you quite all right?
Yes, perfectly well, thank you.
How did, I didn't see you at the end of the party.
Party?
Are you quite well, dear?
Yes, I feel wonderful.
Do you not recall we were to attend the ball that had a moon theme?
Well, yes, but it was cancelled on account of the fire. And that's why we'll bring it to an end.
Oh, fuck you.
My drat's so good, bro.
I messaged you, remember?